Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday, December 14th, 2009 edition of the Logan Sports Talk Show. A lot of things went down this weekend I'd like to talk about. The first thing would definitely have to be the Heisman Trophy presentation Saturday night. The award was given to Alabama's running back, Mark Ingram, and I would have to say that was the right choice, unquestionably. I really think the key reason that he won the award was he not only has he had a dominant season, he's had I think it was 15 touchdowns this season, over 1,500 yards, 1,500 yards. It was a great season. But last week of this regular season, he plays Florida, the best-ranked school in the nation, rushes for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. If you're going to take the best of what you have and show it off to the best school in the nation, you're going to get the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations to Mark Ingram. Shout out to Charlie Ward, the former 1993 Heisman Trophy winner. Saw him Saturday night at the Heisman presentation. Very nice to see him. Most people do not know how amazing Charlie Ward was. Yeah, I know some people are probably thinking Charlie Ward, oh, the Knicks point guard. Well, no, Charlie Ward was probably the best athlete in my opinion, of all time. The guy was not only an avid tennis player, he competed in tons of tournaments when he was younger. He was drafted twice by the MLB. I believe in 1993 by the Milwaukee Brewers, 1994 by the New York Yankees. He won the Heisman Trophy in 1993 out of Florida State. While playing football at Florida State, he also played basketball at Florida State and was drafted into the NBA. Had a long career with the Knicks, and took them to the playoffs. Those great years with John Starks and Patrick Ewing, some great years there. And he didn't even play baseball in college. He actually was drafted because of high school reasons, which I think is just amazing. So our feedback from our first show from last week, we got one email. I'd like to see more if you guys keep sending emails in. It was from Daniel from Long Island, New York, and he wants to know which team I think, either the Saints or Colts, have the best chance of going undefeated this season. Well, I think the key thing you have to look at is their schedules and their backup quarterbacks, because you don't really know how each team is going to deal with their star quarterbacks. Obviously, Drew Brees and Peyton Manning are the key to both of those franchises, and you have to look at the backup for each of them. So let's look at the Colts right now. Peyton Manning's backup, Jim Sorgi, was placed on the injured reserve, which is kind of ironic because he hasn't even taken a snap this year. So he's on the injured reserve with a shoulder problem, which means Curtis Painter will be the backup quarterback for Peyton Manning this year. Curtis Painter is not only a rookie, but you may remember him from Purdue in college. I would be a little nervous if I was the Colts about if you really want to go undefeated, you have to play Peyton Manning the next 3 games, because I don't see them winning with Curtis Painter. You're going to rely on the run. The defenses that they're playing are relatively solid. I mean, the Colts are playing the Jets week 16, and I think if Curtis Painter is going to be their quarterback week 16, or at least for most of the game, the Jets D is going to shut down Joseph Adai, and I don't see how Curtis Painter is going to win 3 games or even 2 games. I don't see that happening. But if Peyton Manning is to play all 3 games, or the next, let me explain their schedule. Week 15, they play the Jaguars, which are in Jacksonville. They're 7-6. Then they play the Jets in Indianapolis. They are 7-6 right now. Week 17, they're in Buffalo against the Bills, who are at the moment are 5-8 through week 14. If Peyton Manning plays against the Jaguars and then he plays against the Jets, I think the Colts will win those games. And then if you bring Curtis Painter in to play week 17, I think there's a slim chance they can still beat the Bills. Just the question really is how much more Peyton Manning plays. So I will say my projection is the Colts do go undefeated through the regular season, because I believe Peyton Manning will play week 15 and 16, and they will get the wins. and I still think the Colts are good enough to beat the Bills without Peyton Manning. Now over to the Saints. Drew Brees' backup is the former Jacksonville and Washington Redskin quarterback, Mark Brunell. He's been in the NFL 17 years. Everyone knows who he is. I think, based on their schedule, the Saints should not be nervous. If Drew Brees plays Week 15 against Dallas in New Orleans, Dallas has an 8-5 record going to this week. I don't see them giving them a problem. They then play Tampa Week 17 in New Orleans again. Week 16 they play in New Orleans, and then Week 17 they're in Carolina, who are 5-8. Tampa and Carolina have a combined 6 wins this season. I wouldn't be too nervous about 2 of them. And if Drew Brees sits Week 16 and 17, I think Brunell can step it up. They have a great, their wide receivers just score. They've been great, their wide receivers. Even when Marquise Colston has nothing special, he doesn't have a great game, their other wide receivers step it up. So I will say, and I know this has never happened before, but I see it happening, there will be 2 undefeated teams after Week 17, and it'll be history in the making. The question is, and that we're just going to have to wonder all week, over the next couple weeks, is who will be the last quarterback standing for each of those teams when the final second, when the clock is over, Week 17. And I think it's going to be the backups for both teams. Curtis Painter, Mark Brunell, they will both be the quarterback, I think, for Week 17. All right, so new thing we're going to do after each show is I'm going to tell you the highlight of my night tonight, which is what's going to be on TV that I am interested in watching. Obviously, you have the San Francisco Arizona game tonight. That's an interesting matchup, but that's not the thing I want to watch tonight. I would like to watch the NBC premiere of the Sing-Off. It's on from 8 to 10. It's some contest that's going to be going on for the next 3 nights. A bunch of artists, not artists, but local garage band type groups singing a cappella, competing for money or something. I'm going to watch it. Sounds interesting. Looks like a cool version of Glee. I guess I'll put it on. And before we go, a shout out to my gym teachers, Mr. Pepanakis and Mr. C. They've asked for a shout out on the show. Here's your shout out. Hello. Hi. So if anybody has any questions or comments about the show, please email logansportstalk@yahoo.com, LOGAN, sportstalk@AOL.com. And please subscribe to the Logan Sports Talk page on Facebook.com and on Yahoo.com. All right. Thanks for tuning in today. And there should be another show on tomorrow.